Look, if you still think the dark web is just some guy in a hoodie furiously typing green code in a basement, you're living in 2004. This is not a movie, it's bureaucracy. It has HR departments, middle management, customer service reps who hate their lives. If someone wants to ruin your life today, they don't hack you. Most of them don't even know how to code. They just go online and buy your life for the price of a bad lunch. And the worst part isn't the hackers, it's level 8. Level 8 isn't some Russian phantom in a bunker. Level 8 is the underpaid guy sitting 3 desks down from you, who just realized he can pay off his car loan by looking the other way for 2 seconds. But we'll get to him. Here is the actual deeply boring, terrifying corporate structure of the internet. Level 1. The lockpicks. The industry calls them initial access brokers. That makes them sound way too cool. They aren't. They're basically digital mall cops. They don't steal your money. They definitely don't write malware. They just jiggle hundreds of doors a day until they find one that's unlocked because some tired hospital worker used password 123 again. So they walk in, wedge the door open, copy the address, then they sell it on a forum for $10. That's their whole day. Do the grunt work, take the $10, clock out. Eventually, the system flags it. You get an alert, you panic, change your password, and feel like a genius. Respect. But changing the locks is completely useless when someone already bought the master key. And the dude who bought that $10 key, he didn't buy it to snoop around. He bought it for level 2. The identity supermarkets. You already know why every app on your phone desperately wants your location. You know data is the new oil. You've accepted that. But you think it's just being used to sell you targeted ads for cheap garbage on Tima. That's the legal version. Down here, they don't sell ads. They sell you. They call it a fulls. $20 buys your life, your name, your habits, the exact GPS coordinates of the mattress you sleep on. Actually, it's worse than you think. They don't hack your bank. They just load your fulls into a modified browser. The banking algorithm looks at the screen, sees your exact digital fingerprint, your hardware, your IP history, and assumes it's you. Then they take out a 50 grand personal loan in your name. Routed offshore. Gone. You can freeze your credit card. Good luck freezing your fingerprint. So they have the door open. They have your face. Now they need a weapon. Level 3. The arms dealers. People think cyber attacks happen because some mystical genius writes a virus in real time. Yeah, right. The attacker just buys the weapon from the actual genius. They buy a 0-day exploit, a fatal flaw in an iPhone or a Windows laptop that Apple doesn't even know exists yet. If the coder reports that flaw to Apple, they get a polite thank you and a $100,000 bounty. If they sell it down here, they get $3 million in untraceable Bitcoin. Guess which one they pick? Suddenly, breaking into a secure system isn't hacking. It's just add to cart. But criminals are liars. How does a buyer hand over $3 million to a Russian teenager without getting ripped off? You can't use Visa. You can't call the police if the code is garbage. So they use escrow. Level 4. The escrow mafia. They don't hack. They just hold the money. Buyer puts Monero into a multi-signature vault. Seller hands over the malware. Buyer tests it on some poor victim. If it works, the middleman takes a 5% cut and provides the final cryptographic signature to release the funds. It's not trust, it's a multi-sig wallet. Cold, boring math. Look at what the Black Hat Group did in 2024. They hit Change Healthcare, got a $22 million ransom, and then just kept the money and completely ghosted the affiliate hacker who actually did the work. Hilarious. That is why escrow exists. You aren't fighting a lone hacker in a basement. You are fighting a regulated supply chain. The dark web hasn't collapsed because their buyer protection is literally better than Amazon's. Which brings us to level 5. The laundromats. Say the heist works, you extorted a hospital. Great! Now you have $10 million in Bitcoin. Try spending it without leaving a trail. Bitcoin is public, which is just a fancy way of saying everybody can see the mess. So you wash it. You pour your stolen money into a digital blender with 10,000 other criminals. Drug money, scam money, ransom money. Mix it. Spit it out in a clean wallet. Same money. No history. You walk away a ghost. Every now and then, the FBI spends 3 years tracking one of these blenders down. They seize the servers. They hold a press conference. Cool. Then the math kicks in. The code is public. By the time the press conference is over, 3 more have automatically turned on somewhere else. All of this needs a place to live. You can't run an identity supermarket on a normal server. Amazon Web Services will shut you down in 3 seconds. So you use a bunker. Level 6. Bulletproof hosting. These aren't cloud servers. These are physical server farms. Literal concrete bunkers sitting in countries that do not care about international law. The mechanism here is complete aggressive ignorance. Global police send a legal warrant to take down a website that is actively selling your medical records. The bunker administrator doesn't fight it in court. He just drags the email to the trash folder. He charges $5,000 a month for a server that is legally untouchable. You can't out-hack them. You can't sue them. Because at this level, you aren't fighting code anymore. You're fighting geography. And geography doesn't respond to emails. Maybe you aren't even stealing. Maybe you're just petty. Level 7. The saboteurs. Down here, they sell DDoS for hire. This isn't hacking. It's a digital tantrum. Let's say your boss from 2017 started a rival business and you want it gone. You don't hack them. You just rent pressure. $50 buys a botnet. 100,000 infected AI refrigerators and smart toasters that nobody bothered to update. Yeah, really, fridges. They all hit the website at once. The servers melt, the business burns, your boss is having a breakdown. And all it took was a pay now button. Which brings us to the top. Or the bottom. You bought the $1 million firewall, hired the elite cybersecurity firm. Your company is an absolute fortress. Oops, you got breached anyway. Level 8. The inside men. The dark web isn't just a marketplace for data, it is a dream job for every disgruntled employee on Earth. Back in 2022, the Lapsus hacking group literally just went on Telegram and offered AT&T and Okta employees $20,000 a week for internal network access. They didn't even hide it. They just asked. And it worked. That phantom hacker you are so scared of does not need to crack your encryption. He just needs to buy the guy 3 desks down from you, the one drinking a vanilla latte and thinking about his car loan. Maybe 50 grand. Maybe one stupid USB stick. Maybe 3 seconds of nobody paying attention. You can secure a server. You cannot secure somebody's rent payment. So that's the reality we're living in. It isn't chaos. It's a highly optimized supply chain. Access gets sold. Your name gets worn like a cheap suit. They package the weapons, they wash the money, and the whole thing keeps moving because there is always somebody tired enough, broke enough, or greedy enough to leave the door open for 3 seconds. At the end of the day, they don't need to break in. They just make you open the door yourself. And somebody always will.